Fuck. Well, we're trying to podcast.
This is podcast.
This is podcasting. Welcome back, Cam, to the show for the third time. You're on a year ago, and then you're on a second ago, because we've been trying to podcast, and we had a SD card error, which is like pretty interesting, but it's actually why we're doing this whole like kind of season that we're in is about finding our flaws, upping our game, and just like getting really, really tight as we continue to kind of take on bigger and bigger opportunities. So I'm actually really glad that this happened now instead of us like renting out some fucking filming location or whatever, or being in like a studio somewhere or something ridiculous, or with some fucking guest who has very limited time.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, welcome back to the show, dude. It's really cool to have you back on here.
Thank
Definitely
you.
hope that you continue to be a regular guest on the show, because you're a regular person in my life. And
Why is that?
I don't know. I fuck with you, dude.
Well,
I think
also geographically, we live very close to each other.
live about 25 feet away from each other. Cam lives in the front yard now. So a year ago we were recording, and Cam was like gonna quit his job. Now, about a month ago, he actually did quit his job to pursue film full time, to fully fucking send it, which I think is really commendable and cool. It definitely inspires me, and I hope that like in any way that I've been able to also inspire that. Like, I'm just happy to be able to fucking be an encouraging force in your life to do it, because I think that that's something that so many people lack, is somebody that like not only holds them accountable to like their obligations and responsibilities, but also holds them accountable to the obligations and responsibilities that they have to fulfill their unique potential. And that's really cool. And I think that that's really why you're a regular person in my life, because you're one of the few people who I can count on to actually to do that, to not only be like a one-way thing where you just like hype me or I just hype you, but like we continually hype each other up and push each other.
Yeah. We have similar goals, so it's not like it's when you have two friends that have different goals, you know, sometimes it's a little harder to hold someone else accountable to their goals.
Yeah.
But when like I'm holding you accountable, like I'm holding you accountable to my goals as well, because I understand. We understand each other.
Yeah. We like, I wouldn't even say goals necessarily, because like we share goals, but I would say more than goals, we share values.
Yeah.
And like that's really the fucking thing that makes a big difference between the people that you hang out with for funsies just because they're fucking around, and the people who you actually like chosen family and like brothers and sisters in life, are the people who share your values and like we care a lot about. I mean, like the amount of time that we spent setting this up, when we thought it was going to take 20 or 30 minutes, it took 2 hours to set it up just to get our angles right and like get everything I mean, if you count the time that we just fucked up that last podcast, it was quite a while for setup. And I'm really glad that we can do that, because like it sucks to fail by yourself, but it sucks a little bit. I mean, it sucks to fail in general and to slip up, but I think it sucks a little bit less when you're with somebody else and you're on a bigger mission, because you can look to them when you slip and fall and remember that you're on your way to the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool. Like we're on a journey, and it's going to take a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So can you tell the people, where are you at, man? Like you went through this whole wild arc, and I think that that's a really powerful story, honestly, that like you'll look back on and realize like how fucking crazy it was even more later.
Yeah.
But I think that people will like really relate, because you were the dude who was working fucking construction and putting your dreams on the back burner.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I worked in construction for about 9 years or so. Concrete. Simultaneously, like, well, part of that was like simultaneously while going to school as well for video. And I always thought I wanted to pursue the video thing, even if it was just on the side. And I started to convince myself more and more over the past like few years that like, hey, maybe I can just like be creative on the side and work this job regularly, because I do enjoy parts of, or I did enjoy parts of my regular job. And then I just started gaining more clarity about how that wouldn't be possible for me to do both, and that I had to go full speed on this, essentially.
I think that it worked for the time and the space that you were in, where you were still like, I mean, you were jumping. When I first moved to Asheville, you were doing photography. You weren't doing film, like, at all. Like, you didn't have a film set up or anything. Like, you were doing, like, I mean, obviously you had, like, a background in both, and you had done documentaries and stuff before.
Yeah.
But you were primarily, like, working on a photography portfolio.
Yeah.
So I think that you were in this exploration phase, and the job that you had allowed you to have the freedom to fuck around and find out. But as you started to hone in on, like, what you actually wanted to do, and also as, like, the frustration built of you actually, like, being like, okay, now that I've had the lateral growth, I want some fucking vertical growth. Like, I want to actually make some shit happen. I want to build something for myself. And that requires a different level of dedication that I think that you were increasingly realizing that you could not produce while working 60 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just frustrating, you know, it was frustrating seeing how good I was getting at my regular job, and just thinking about, like, man, if I just put these hours in, like, doing the thing that I really like doing, imagine how much better I could be at that now. And, like, I want to be great at this thing, this media thing. And, like, I am definitely, like, a little bit frustrated right now that I'm just, like, not, my skills are, like, not where I want them to be.
Yeah. What was that quote you told me right before we started?
I don't know if it's necessarily a quote. It's this guy in documentary filmmaking who says, you know, when you first start, it's going to take a while for your skills to catch up to your taste.
Yeah. And you have very high expectations.
Yeah, because we have, like, a high ideal. I have a high ideal of, like, what I want my stuff to be, and, like the impact that it has on people. And it's frustrating when you're like, man, I just don't know how to make this, like, just make this really, really good. I know how to make it good, but I don't know how to make it, like, groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just knew that you had a greater potential than you were, like, putting out in general. And I think that that's, like, kind of the cool thing, where you do have almost a responsibility to your innate potential, because you can just be mediocre and that's fine, and you should, like, stay in your lane. Some people are supposed to be, like, you know, D-suite players, but if you actually have something, it is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think that a lot of people, especially now in today's era or whatever, our generation, like, everybody wants to be a fucking entrepreneur because they think that that's cool. But it's really not fucking cool if that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Because then you fucking hate yourself.
I mean, it's like, dude, I go through that all the time. I'm like, man, why do I have this, like, innate thing where I feel like I have to do something creative? I really should have been born just, like, with the construction gene. Construction gene. Because, like, I was born with that, and, like, I don't know, for some reason got it in my head early on that I need to be creative. And, like, when I'm sucking at being creative, I'm just like, man, you're not doing the right thing right now.
Yeah.
You should be slaving away in some hole somewhere.
I think that there's, like, a good mix of the two. I think just because you can slave away in a hole doesn't mean that you should. Yeah. I think that, like, you have the capacity to do, like, really hard work. Like, you can go, like, with me to the gym, and, like, we can just, like, brutally, like, go through the fucking gauntlet. And, like, that's a good skill to have if you, like, need to help somebody in the storm, like cutting trees, like, whatever the fuck it is. You can make shit happen, but that doesn't necessarily need to be for another man's benefit. Like, that could be a skill that you keep for yourself to take care of your own property, family, loved ones, whatever. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be doing that for, you know, whatever the fuck, $20 to $30 an hour doing concrete.
Yeah.
You could, you know, have that skill in your back pocket and use it as a tool, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's all that you are. I think that, like, finding these balances, because I felt the same way. I mean, I do still need to, like, get my hands dirty. Like, I spend most of my time on a computer now or on the phone, and I think, you know, just getting out, we are men at the end of the day. Like, building stuff, getting your hands dirty, doing hard manual labor is good for you. Chop wood and carry water before success, and after success, chop wood and carry water. You know, I think it does something for us, and I think it's better to have that skill developed and then step into the creative versus the opposite, like being completely dependent on just being creative and then being 35 and not knowing how to use a hammer.
Yeah.
Those people exist.
Yeah.
And we know them. I'm not gonna call them when I need a tire changed or I'm stuck somewhere in the middle of the night. Like having somebody with high agency, I think, is like, just having the capacity to understand that you can like do hard things is really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly proud about the things that I've learned, like being, doing a physical job.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
So now, like you've done the thing. You did, like, we were a year ago. I kind of like caught you, and I was like, hey. You came out here to do film. You came out here to like pursue this creative thing, and like you're kind of not doing it. You're like, I don't know. You kind of like just pushed it to the side. You're like not really wanting to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like,
because I don't need anybody else telling me like my worst like thing I'm dealing with. Yeah,
no. It's like, dude, even like me as like somebody, like, as much as you like trust me still, like if you are doing the construction thing that you're already like, it's objectively fucking difficult. So, like, you don't want anybody to be like, hey, man, what you're doing is really hard. You're like, yeah, I fucking know. Like, I've had to compartmentalize that part of me and put it to the fucking side. I don't want to talk about it. It lives in a shoebox under the bed.
Yeah.
But having it, like, kind of brought up like that, I think it did, like, spark something in you, though, because then over the next 6 months, you just, like, kept scratching at it.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, and then you called me up in May, and you're like, hey, I think I'm going to quit my job in a year and walk across America. And I was like...
But that was, like, the pendulum swinging, like, way out of the... Like,
way over.
Like, man, I'm just so fucked up. I gotta, like, forget about the video thing and just start walking.
I gotta walk, dude. I gotta go to pilgrimage. And I was like, I think that's what I told you, too. I was like, dude, I think that's, like, pretty extreme. I think there's probably a happy medium there, man. Like, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck do you need to do that?
Yeah.
And, like, what it really was just that you, like, seek challenge and you wanted, like, clarity. And, hard things do that for us. And especially as, like, young men, like, wayward young men, we want to find our way doing that.
Yeah.
But, hey, cheers, dude.
For real.
Got some sake going.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, dude. To Cope and to you and to friendship.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. Wow. Sake.
Where did you get this from?
Organic sake.
Mm.
Just good. Is there like a no homo but for no racism? Shochikubai. Shochikubai. Shochikubai.
Yeah.
Shochikubai. Organic sake. Namasake. Interesting. Cool. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I think that pendulum swinging is something that so many of us fall into, and like having the capacity to bounce ideas off of a friend and then allowing yourself to express both ends of the pendulum and then finding a medium step instead of spazzing and like going and walking. You're like in Texas somewhere and it's fucking whatever. You're like, you slowed down a little bit and you took some time and we continued to talk it out. I think that's like the benefit of a good friend.
That's really funny though, is because like still like a lot of people would say like what I'm doing now is like, oh man, you sure you want to do that? But like,
yeah, you're like, you didn't know what I had in me, dude.
Yeah.
You didn't know what I was thinking about.
Yeah, like, I mean, thinking about the walking thing, like what I'm doing now sounds tame compared to that.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been
like
a whole...
I have somewhere to live. I have an enclosed space to live in.
Yeah, and it's warm. It's less than 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, it was warm in there today.
It gets hot as fuck. It's just the floor being insulated, but yeah. So now you're in this like new world and probably running into some of that like whole like, when you've been chained up your whole life, freedom can almost seem just as scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you speak to that? Like what you've had to learn, like not having an external accountability measure of a construction site and somewhere to show up every day in a very closed loop, got this done at the end of the day. Like you have all the fucking freedom in the world now.
Yeah,
I mean, look at yourself in a different way.
Structure is so key, and creating structure for your day, or for me at least. I think like it like can be harder early on to figure out or to know like what kind of person you are, because like some people can just get stuff done and like freestyle. It seems like, at least looking from the outside in.
I'm suspicious. I know a lot of those people that I like coach, and they're like, yeah, everything. I'm like not doing the thing that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can be in this reactionary state, and you can like, I mean, that's the process of the urgent crushing the important. You can stay on top of urgent things, but you might not ever do things that are truly important to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like that from the outside in, at least.
Yeah.
Because people don't really talk about like how they structure their day that often, I guess. But like, yeah. Just realizing that I'm the type of person that needs structure and that I now have to create that structure for myself. And there's a bunch of tools and stuff that you can use, like writing and journaling, all super crucial. And just like sticking to that. That's huge.
Kind of denying the ability for you, or not even the ability, denying the propensity for yourself to get overwhelmed by keeping everything in your fucking head. I think that like when you take on a big project like this, or just like a series of projects, like your biggest project now is your fucking life, and like, what am I doing? I have to make a career for myself. I have to make income. Like, I have to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I've cut the safety net.
Yeah.
Like, now you really have to figure it out and kind of like map this thing out. Like with any big project, like you have to lay it out and get kind of organized. And I would say that like, because people, like, I was always really adverse to structure and just hated the idea of it, because I was like, I'm a creative. I was that guy. I was like, I can just figure stuff out. But it's like, it's not. What we're really rebelling against is stricture and constriction, but we still need structure. And constriction is that which kind of denies you anything. Structure is that which allows you to build fundamentally. Like, it is the organizing principle in your life that allows you to stand taller. And I think that was like a really big realization for me when I found the Monk Manual. Eventually, shout out Monk Manual, code in the fucking description. Is that I do need to get things down and like organize my day, especially once you're taking on a certain amount of stuff. I just need to do it in a way that's right for me. So it's not necessarily that I hate structure. I think that would be fucking stupid. Like, our reality is defined by fucking structure. There has to be some sort of an organizing principle. If everything was the same color, we'd be completely fucking confused. But by allowing ourselves to actually develop a fucking skill and develop a practice, like where we can kind of do it in a way that feels authentic to us, is so fucking important. I think writing has been a really big part of that process for me, and definitely for you as well, right?
Yeah, hugely important. I mean, yeah, you can definitely go too far though. Like,
for sure.
I mean, I was trying to like plan out all the projects that I'm trying to do this year, and I was trying to plan exactly like how long they would take, exactly when I would start and when I would start and when I would finish, which is good. But like, I felt like I drew a calendar and I was like drawing arrows to like the start date to the end date, and I felt like that meme like from It's Always Sunny, or it's like Charlie,
dude, with the
like
red string.
He's like pointing to the thing like crazy like that.
It's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, and I was like, this is way too. I'm like I was getting so overwhelmed. I was like, I can't. Like, this is way too much. So like, planning, yes, but like, you can't get so like caught up in like making sure, okay, like this is super important. I mean, there's some things that are super important to stick to, but like other things,
it's just a vision. It's not necessarily an itinerary past a certain point. Like, you can only like cast a vision and like an ideal forward, but you can't necessarily like hold yourself in this like very concrete fashion too far forward.
Yeah,
like you can only kind of like reach as far forward as your arms can reach or whatever. And especially when you get into like 6-month planning, I think it's good, but that's definitely something that I kind of struggle with too, is like finding a way to actually cast your vision into the future, but not getting overly obsessed with it to the point that you like kind of remove yourself from the present moment. And that's like really the problem, right? Is like bare minimum dosage of planning and structure, but not so much that you lose touch with the present moment, right? So it's this balance of casting forward, but also understanding where your feet are at. Because you can get way fucking caught up in the thing. And I think that's what like writing itself, not even just planning, but like writing allows us to do. It allows us to take, I was saying earlier, like, it's when we get, start to get overwhelmed, we start to get anxious, and eventually depression is really just like, continuous anxiety to the point that our body starts to downregulate in an attempt to like bring us inwards and like focus inwards and slow down a little bit, because we're fucking exhausting resources and cortisol's been fucking jacked and we're not sleeping good, our hormones are fucked up, digestion's fucked up, whatever. That's what depression turns into. But before that, we're in the state of anxiety and overwhelm, and we feel like everything's fucked, and it's not everything. It's like 5 fucking things. But when you keep it all in your head, it seems like everything. It's this giant tangled mess of fucking chords, and if you're trying to untangle 5 different chords at the same time, not really giving any one of them direct attention, you're never gonna fucking figure it out. But if you focus on one, and you unravel that one as much as you can, then you'll be fine. And that's what writing allows us to do. It allows us to separate these things into a structure that we can actually start to tackle stuff. Like I was saying earlier, also how we don't really think often. We really are just like regurgitating ideas and bouncing them around in our head to the point that they just cause more and more friction.
Oh yeah.
And in order to actually think, you have to be both a collaborator and kind of an antagonist at the same time. You have to be able to challenge yourself and collaborate with yourself, vouch for yourself, and also challenge yourself. And that's why most thinking occurs when people are talking about like we're doing now, or like we do, when we're just kicking it.
Yeah.
But writing allows you to be able to step back and get your thoughts in front of you and realize, like, if the thoughts are in front of you and you're reading the thoughts, then you're fundamentally not the fucking thoughts. You're the thinker of the thoughts. You're the believer of the beliefs, the actor of the actions, but you're the thing behind that. If you can get it all in front of you, things get a lot more manageable. And your life gets a lot more doable just by, like, taking that time.
For sure.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. So, like, what else have you been kind of learning as you step into this process of, like, I mean, you're doing the thing that a lot of people talk about doing. I mean, you were one of those fucking people that talked about doing it. I was one of those people at one point of, like, I'm going to go and pursue my dream. Like, what have you been realizing now that you're playing the game that everybody talks about playing?
What am I learning? Okay, well, I'm not learning that it's hard, because I already knew that it was going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'm learning that, I don't think I talked about this in this one. I'm learning that, like, I'm like a doer of physical tasks, and I need that. I need like, in order to get my day started, like, I can't just get up and, like, start doing something creative. I need to choose like a physical task with, like, a tangible outcome. So, like, not just going to the gym in the morning, which is tempting, but choosing something with a physical task, like fixing something on my car, fixing something in the trailer that has, like, a tangible outcome, and doing that first thing. Because it's just like, dude, something about trying to work on the computer in the middle of the day is so stressful to me. I think you said something about, like, cortisol being highest, like, in the middle of the day or something.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah. Is it in the middle of the day that's hard for you? Well, the middle of the day
really
is the
the morning, and really just, like, lead the morning, and that leads into the middle of the day.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, if you get stressed out in the morning and then, like, nothing brings you out of that, it's going to continue all the way up until, like, nighttime.
Yeah.
Which is, like, usually when I start getting stuff done. Is, like, for some reason, once the sun sets, I'm like, all right, I'm locked in now.
Yeah, well, cortisol and testosterone are all going to, like, peak around, like, morning through midday.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and again, like, if you start your day off stressed out, like, that's just going to be the vibe that you're on. So,
Yeah.
it might not be that bad at 8, 9 in the morning, but your fucking 6th hour of being stressed out, and it hits 1 or 2, and you hit that natural, like, afternoon slump anyways,
Yeah.
it's going to get really fucking tough. But if you can open up the day by showing yourself that you can achieve something, that you can close a loop, and also, like, giving yourself something that feels, like, decent to yourself, that you've accomplished something, then you're actually defining your day by, okay, I'm actually accomplishing stuff.
I mean, yeah, showing something that showing yourself that you can achieve something first thing in the day is, like, man, that is so important.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the downfall of, like, a lot of creative people.
It just isn't too many open loops.
Is you just not, just, I mean, like, I know, like, a lot of creative people, and, like, a lot of creative people are also pretty bummed out. Like,
Yeah.
chronically.
Yeah.
And I think the downfall is just, like, not having that, like, that structure. Like, people should do, like, something physical.
Chop wood and carry water, dude. Like, that
Yeah.
shit's so fucking real. Like, I know so many of these starving artists who are skinny fat, and they eat nothing but ramen noodles. Like, have you tried physically exhausting yourself? Like, at the end of the day, we're fucking animals. we are an organism and we have certain inputs that like need to be attended to.
Yeah.
If we don't attend to those, like, why the fuck do you think that you would feel good? If you eat like shit, you don't really fucking sleep, you wake up and then you try to force yourself to be creative because I gotta fucking make it first thing in the morning. You think that's gonna be fucking good for you?
Yeah.
Like, is that good for your framework? No. Give yourself something that is like gonna I mean, that's the whole fucking thing with Cope that I do with like creative, specifically entrepreneurs and people who are starting businesses. Like, I just talked to a guy he's 55 and he's got money, he's got a contracting business and all this stuff. He's doing a bunch of great things in his life, but he's getting to the point where he wants to change his career, and he's like looking at all these things, and like we get on the phone and he basically just talks to me for like 15 minutes about all these external things and how he's confused, and all these external things and how he's confused, and then he's like, and yeah, I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, how's your sleep, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you taking care of yourself? Are you giving yourself the capacity to have clarity in the first place? Are you giving yourself the capacity to feel good about yourself in the first place? If you don't do that, then you're fucked. I mean, we talked about that last night. Like, I do all these little rituals and self-care things because I'm more fucked up than most people. Like, I'm so neurotic and anxious and depression prone that like I will just be a piece of shit. I'll be a fucking lazy piece of shit. I'll be a drug addict. I'll be a fucking, you name it, porn addict, social media addict, TV addict, like whatever. Like, I'll just escape because of like how sensitive I am, I guess, to the world. So like, first thing I do every morning, like I have to wake up and like do something fit. Like, I have like a little morning routine, like this like Cope Flow, which is like yoga and calisthenics. Like, I have a specific thing that I need to do every morning that's gonna clear some cortisol out of my body, get my heart rate up, get my metabolism going, and like from a neurochemical perspective, like I'm straight there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go right into meditation after that, and that's like gonna allow me to go in, since I've kind of flushed the cortisol, I've turned my body on, and I have the capacity, I'm fully online, and then I bring that system that's now fully online into the program that I want it to be in, which is like mindfulness, gratitude, and like love and honesty or whatever. And if I do that, then I'm fucking fine.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't really need to do that until I also stepped away from construction, because I was also doing construction for a while. And it wasn't until like I stepped away and I had the freedom, because I like started living in tiny homes and like it was a shuttle bus for a few years. Like, once I had the freedom to do that, like I needed to start fucking taking care of myself, because I didn't have anything to hold me accountable anymore. It was like not a fucking option. I'm just gonna lose my mind and just fuck off, or I was gonna make something out of this opportunity of freedom that I had.
How do you deal with not being where you want to be? How do you deal with like feeling like you like messed up?
I try to like give myself grace as like something that's like a moral value. Like, it's just like something that like a good person would do. Like that whole thing of like treating yourself like a friend.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Like just treating yourself like the friend that, like, how would you talk to a friend? Like, I think that it's, again, like that's what mindfulness is to me, is like stepping outside of like your neurosis, because it's not really you that's beating yourself up, it's your mind and your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so like what we really need to do is like step back from that and be able to look at the machinations of the mind, and we step back and we see that, and then we can question that, and that's why journaling is such a good way to do that. And you see like, okay, because you can challenge it, it's like, you're not doing enough. You write that down and you're like, whoa, dude, what's up with you? And then you're like, why do you think that? And it's like, well, and you can, you know, go through all these different layers, and it depends on like where you're at, but eventually you find out that like, I'm afraid that I'm not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really just sadness. It's not anger. It's fear and sadness. It's a fear of not being enough. And that's like the fundamental human fear. And I think that if you can get to that core, then from there you can be like, oh, dude, like, it's all right, bud. Like, you deserve some belief. Like, you're okay. And like, we're going to be okay. And like, don't you believe in yourself? And you're like, yeah, I do. And it's like, if somebody came and told you weren't shit, what would you tell them? Tell them, suck dick. Like, it kind of clicks into place once you can organize it and lay it out.
Yeah.
But I think if we don't take the time to step back and organize these things, then we can never really get there. But I think that we have innate belief in ourselves and fire and faith, if we can actually allow ourselves the space to find that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like knowing that, like knowing your values, knowing your chosen values, like for me, I want to be the type of man that gives people grace, because I know that we're all flawed and we're all fucked up and we're all coming to the pursuit of our dreams from different places, and like it's gonna take a lot of work and it's gonna take a lot of fuck ups to get there. So like what good does it do for me to beat myself up? That's another really good one, like a good frame or reframe. Like if beating yourself up worked, wouldn't you be perfect by now? Yeah. It probably doesn't fucking work.
No.
Yeah. I think that's like a pretty big one for me. What are you like experiencing through that, like with that in this process? Because that's the other thing about having that much freedom is like you can start just whipping up fucking expectations for yourself immediately because it's all up to you now. So why aren't you fucking doing the thing that you should be doing? Like how are you dealing with all the expectations that you have for yourself in this moment?
I'd say like not extraordinarily well. I'd say I'm not dealing with it extraordinarily well. I will say that the only way for me to properly deal with them will be to like meet those expectations, which, and I think that's okay, because I think those expectations that I have, at least in the next year, are achievable if I do like everything in my power to like achieve the goals that I've set out. But like, you know, I mean, like I'm not satisfied with where I'm at right now, but I think that's okay because I'm not like super fucking depressed. I think I'm a little bummed out, but I'm not like super depressed about it. I think that's okay because I think that's like fueling me a bit.
What I would say to that is that, you know, have you heard of the framework of being like gratefully dissatisfied?
Excuse me. Yeah. No.
So it's like, it's not a like conflict to resolve. It's a dichotomy to manage. This tension between, you know, where you are and where you know you can be, and giving yourself grace and like being a good friend to yourself, and like being not whipping yourself to the point that you won't be able to do fucking anything at all. And it's like gratefully dissatisfied is essentially like, you know, the first bite of like a really good steak. You're not like done. You know, there's no bite of food that's going to completely, you know, resolve your hunger for the rest of life. There's no drink of water that's going to quench your thirst forever. There's no first bite of steak and you're like, I'm good. It's like, yeah, I'm good, but I also want more. And it's like acknowledging and being grateful for what you have and what you've done, and like giving yourself props where it's due, and knowing that there's going to be the nuance of there's also the tension of knowing where I could be.
Yeah.
And it's that thing of like, it's a mountain climb, and like looking back at where you fucking come and acknowledging at the same time where you need to go. And that's why it's so fucking hard to think as a person. If you don't fucking write, you don't meditate, you don't talk to somebody, you don't go to therapy, or you don't spend time actively fucking contemplating, you can't hold two opposing ideas at once unless you cultivate the skill and the ability to do that. It's not gonna fucking happen. We are fundamentally neurotic. We are the the descendants of the most anxious fucking primates. The ones who were most paranoid, the ones who were tweaking when there was a stick, and they're like, dude, oh my god, like, go. And he's like, dude, it's fine. Jerry. Oh my god. It's so fucking good, dude. Oh, look up Monkey Jerry meme. It's so good. Just fucking do it. You'll be gratefully dead. But like that. And it's like, we are the descendants of that, like the most paranoid people. And we need to acknowledge that we are no longer out in the fucking tundra, or out in the plains, or on the edge of the jungle where the plains were and the lions were, and we knew that we had to go get food, whatever. Like, we are fundamentally at odds with our new reality, which is where we're fucking safe, we have food, we have the capacity to make money for ourselves, we have community, and we also have options in community that, like, if we disappoint somebody, it doesn't mean that we're gonna fucking die because we're kicked out of the village. Like, we're fine. Like, we're not in that world anymore. And like, I think that's why all these things are, it's not a fucking luxury for me. It's like, dude, these are the trappings of the modern world, this fucking latent anxiety and chronic fucking depression. We need to learn how to deal with it. It's not a fucking flaw. It's a feature of the system that we're in that we have not yet evolved into properly.
Yeah.
And that's what self-care is for me. That's why COPE is such a thing, and that's why I'm trying to do this health coaching thing differently, because I'm like, I'm not like some white lady in Laguna Beach. Like, I'm just a dude, like,
Yeah.
who's like, no, you need to take care of yourself. You can still like have fun and like do shit and like be a human and fuck up, but like you should. I'm not saying anything like fucking revolutionary here. Like, you should probably kind of fucking take care of yourself and organize your mind, and maybe like start to make some peace with your emotions.
Maybe.
It's a decent thought, you know? Like, why not? Like, why would you not try to give yourself a little bit more peace and grace? And
Yeah.
I think I see you going through that process a lot. I mean, we talked about it a month before you did this. I was like, you're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself in different ways.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through that over the past 5 years of, you know, not having a normal job, it being kind of like all on my back. Like, the freedom can be terrifying and like crippling at times,
Mhm.
but the upside, if you actually take it on and if you actually meet it with responsibility, I think is beautiful, because then you can embrace that freedom and actually take it for what it is and
Mhm.
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's getting kind of cold.
It's getting really cold.
Mm-hmm.
I really want this fire to provide. I feel like it's not windy anymore. Do you feel like now that you're in this situation, your standards for self-care, like, do you feel like your standards have changed for yourself? Like, what are you noticing? Because I can say a month ago, I was like, you're gonna have to take better fucking care of yourself. But like, what are you seeing for yourself in that process?
I don't know if my I mean, I think my standards have changed because now I'm more capable of taking better care of myself. Like, when you're working as much as I was working, it's hard. It's hard to fit, like, you know, proper nutrition in. It's hard to cook for yourself. It's basically impossible to work that much, cook for yourself, like, good meals to get proper nutrients in, and work out, which I was doing. We're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah.
So,
And be creative.
yeah, exactly. It's like, who was talking about this? It's like, there's like three things. There's like your relationships, your work, and
Ryan Holiday talks about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's it's scene, health, family,
Mhm.
career.
And it's
Just
just
pick three.
balancing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is fuck. I kind of hate that.
Yeah.
It's super like, yeah. There's truth to it though, and I think it's like kind of picking the things that you're gonna suck at a little bit, like, you know. And it's not that you can't do all of them or you can't do multiple things. It's just like picking the things that you're gonna be kind of lacking in, because you can't
Yeah.
do it. You can do anything, but you can't do everything.
Mhm.
That's the, kind of the frame that I like a little bit more. Like, I suck at socializing right now.
Mhm.
Like, people like my parents just hit me up to like come eat dinner because they live like 45 minutes or 30 minutes away now, and I was like, I can't. Like, I'm like, just the nature of the situation that I'm in, plus the nature of my relationship chaos that I'm in right now, has left me in the midst of a really intense career push behind. So I can't like make that happen as much as I want to right now, and it's something that I've had to like learn to not just whip myself harder for, but like learn to acknowledge in myself and communicate to the people around me, like, this is just the season that I'm in right now, and it kind of sucks because, you know, I have homies that just want to like call and talk shit all the time, and I'm like, I can only do that for so many people a day, because I'm
Yeah.
also like fucking, that's what I do for fucking work, is talking with people for hours on the phone about their life, and it's this weird sort of thing where I'm like, you know, realizing that I can't do everything all at once.
Mhm.
Like, it's the humanity, I guess, of our situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I forget. There was something regarding self-care in there. That was the initial question.
Oh, just like how have your standards changed?
Well,
It's really just like a deeper probing question. It's more along the lines of what I've already been asking you. I'm just like double clicking deeper.
Yeah.
But give me more. Give me more.
Yeah. Just trying to get my macros in, dude.
Yeah. You are trying to get your fucking credit cards in, dude. I can't tell you how many times you fucking... Actually, I can. It's been 3. So I, like, walk out and Cam's, like, stuffing his fucking face at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, dude, what are you doing right now? And you're, like, just, like, trying to fucking... You're like, like, I'm not enjoying this. I just gotta get it in. Like, no. How's that whole thing going? How's your physical health going? I feel like you haven't been able to fucking really... I feel like you have a system that was in a previous world, which is like construction. Like, I just gotta whip myself harder. And then, like, not really getting the results that you wanted to get from that, but, like, getting some fucking results.
Yeah.
And then now being in this new world, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, but, like, just stuff my face at, like, random fucking, like, times, because I'm in this scarcity complex where I don't have fucking time anymore. And I'm like, dude, I ate 104 grams of protein for breakfast. And, like, you're, like, stuffing in your last bit at 9. I'm like, you don't have to do that anymore, dude. Like, you're free, buddy. Like, we're out of the hood. We don't gotta eat the noodles.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just something... I feel like most of the days I've been good. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit behind now because your dog ate the rest of my lunch.
You left it out. That's fair game.
But I feel like I have on most days I've been getting them in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're gonna, like, step into a new era of physique and, like, physical health in general, because you don't have the constant overhanging dread of not getting enough fucking sleep and still trying to train.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't build as much muscle as you're capable of if you're not sleeping properly and training. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, it just is what it is. It's the physics of the situation. If you have a certain amount of systemic stress, you can only recoup so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like you're about to get pretty fucking jacked.
I really hope so. I feel it. I feel like I am going to.
You definitely are. As long as you don't overtrain and keep eating silly, then you'll be fine. I mean, you can eat silly like that and still get big, but it might not be good for your digestion.
At least I'm eating the right stuff, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, my diet is definitely significantly better. Man, construction diets, even when you're trying, dude. Even when you're trying, like...
You're gonna eat some questionable stuff.
It's just because you have to.
Yeah.
Like, you literally, like...
They don't fucking care. Everybody else, 9 out of 10 of the people you're around don't fucking care.
No, dude, not at all. Let's go to Taco Bell lunch, guys.
Yeah.
It's trying to, like, someone's trying to get the whole train going to Taco
Everybody
Bell
else is
lunch.
Stoked, too.
Yeah.
And then you're the one guy, like,
let's go lunch.
dude,
like,
is there, like, a
that.
fucking Chipotle around or something? Like, I need
At
to
the bare
reach my
minimum.
macros. Yeah, Chipotle's, like, not even fucking great.
Yeah.
Rice bran oil. Yeah.
Yeah, like... God, dude, that pissed me off, like, so much. People trying to go to get fast food at lunch. And I'm like, you shouldn't be leaving. You shouldn't be leaving. Because it was, like, my job to, like, crack the whip.
Yeah.
And I'd be, like, you should be bringing your own lunch, not going to the fast food place for, like, an hour.
Yeah, it's a whole like, it actually is more efficient to just bring your own fucking food.
It is. Yeah, it absolutely is.
It's not even that much cheaper to get fast food nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the very least, like, go to, like, whatever, like, Chipotle the night before, and then bring that in the next day.
For work efficiency.
Yeah.
It's still fucking expensive, though.
It is. Well, I figured out that, actually, I don't know if this is right, but there was a period in time where I was going to Chipotle and cutting at the same time, and I would only get, like, pico de gallo chicken and, like, lettuce or something.
Like, no rice, you're going no carb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like $6 or $7.
Oh, you're just getting the individual items?
Not in well, I was getting it in a bowl.
A bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I think they, like, caught on to. I think too many people talked about the, like, doubling up on protein thing, where you're like, can I have some of that? Can I actually have half of that? And then you go, could I actually get some more of that? And then, like, it was this hack or whatever to get to max your protein at Chipotle, and I think they've caught on.
They're fucking bitches,
dude.
I
go to Chipotle and it's $25.
Dude, I hate them.
And I'm like, they hate their life.
I boycotted Chipotle for a long time.
I'm honestly not with it because I feel pretty fucking awful every time I eat there.
Yeah, it's just necessary sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Kavas are popping up all over the place. That slaps pretty hard.
Yeah,
it's like Mediterranean Chipotle. It's the same exact vibe. Same people working there.
Except it tastes better.
But tastes much better. The taste profile is much better.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit better in the sorting. Maybe not. Might all be bullshit.
In the what?
Sourcing.
Oh.
Just marketing. I don't know. It might just be marketing. There's a fair chance that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you make people uncomfortable. How do you feel like... Reopen that. Like, I just wanted to make a fucked up joke and I couldn't. So, like, you like, kind of make people uncomfortable, like, as I do, because that's why we relate. That's why we're friends, because we, kind of see and, like, real recognize real. But, like, we're striving for greatness in a culture that largely celebrates and accepts mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I know that some of the conversations that you have with homies where you're, like, radically believing in yourself, and they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. So, like, how do you deal with striving for greatness and personal excellence in a world that largely does just kind of settle for the bare minimum?
Well, first of all, I don't know. I hesitate to frame it like that because, like, well, first of all, because it sounds, like, pretentious as fuck.
It does. But you get what I'm trying to get at.
I get what you're saying. I just, what I would say is that I am striving for something. I'm striving for a life that is completely different than the one that I have now. Whereas just a lot of people that I associate with are just generally not trying to do that, because by like 27, 28, generally people are on the path that they're going to be on for like the remainder of their life. So I think
they're okay with that. I feel like I have these fucking late night like, they seem like that 90% of the time, and then you get fucking drunk with them and they're like, I want to fucking do whatever, or you like go do something cool and they're like, I want to be fucking doing that, and I'm like, you can't. I just, like, to break down the pretentiousness, I see people sell themselves short so often.
Yeah.
And then I know also on the other end that a lot of those people that do sell themselves short will, like, get kind of annoyed with me. For instance, with food, like, really black and white one, but I'm like, I don't want to eat that. And they're like, what do you, like, oh, fucking health. Like, Amy's family, like, talks so much shit about, like, me not wanting to eat the fucking shitty chicken that they fucking got because it was on sale at Food Lion.
Yeah.
And, like, that makes them uncomfortable, and it makes me seem pretentious. But, like, what it really is, like, me actually sticking to the fucking previous conversation that I had with them where they're like, I really need to get my health together. And I'm like, you fucking can't.
Yeah.
Like, you talking shit about the thing, or you getting uncomfortable about the thing, and then putting yourself to the side and putting me in this fucking pretentious box because it makes you feel better about where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does nobody any good.
Yeah. I think the thing is that, people who are like, I just really don't associate with those people, especially here in Asheville, who are like, oh man, I wish I could be doing this. Like, my homies, like, that I have here, we've all moved from other places in the United States to be here. So in a sense, like, everyone that I associate with here has made, like, a big change in their life to be here, to skateboard here, because that's who my friends are. They're living the dream. Already.
Downhill.
Yeah.
Longboard.
Downhill skate. They're living the dream, so, like, props to them for that. It's just that I have a slightly different, I wouldn't say more, I just, like, want something different than that. Because, like, for them, skating's the ideal. For me, I wouldn't consider myself much of a skater anymore.
Mm.
So my ideal is elsewhere, but, like, they've done the best thing for their goals.
So it's about being selective about who you hang out with.
Yeah.
Just, like, realizing that kind of saying of, like, the real ones are going to get it. Like, those who mind don't matter.
Yeah.
And those who matter don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, the real ones would be like, yeah, okay, like, Cam's doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are those moments where you, like, come up with tension, where you're, like, kind of putting in, especially if it's somebody that you, like, met somewhat recently or whatever, and, like, you have a friendship with, and you're like, fuck, like, they don't really get the thing. Like, it is a weird.
I would have that at work. And I specifically, like, I'm not much of a talker, like, especially at work. So I specifically, like, I mean, nobody there knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't have the energy to explain to them, like, what I'm trying to do, because I know that they don't have the, like, they're not going to understand. And when I finally went to quit, like, I was met with, like, oh, man, I think this is going to be a mistake. Like, dude, I think this is going to be, like, you know, don't do this. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly why I wasn't talking to you about that in the first place. Like, I don't need to, like a lot of people, like, in my personal opinion, a lot of people, like, find it necessary to, like, have other people know what, you know, not what they're going through or, like, or what their goals are, but, like, I just, like, at work, like, I didn't feel it necessary at all for, like, the people I worked with to know, like, my aspirations on the side. And, like, for a reason, because, like, why would I, like, spend the energy, like, trying to explain that to someone who's not in a place to understand what I'm explaining?
So that's what I was trying to dig at. You have like both crippling insecurity and like radical self-belief at the same time. And like that's what it is actually. I think that people will think that they have a fucking problem because they have both and they feel like they're fucking delusional. And in reality, you kind of have to be willing to be a little bit. I mean, you could be willing to be seen potentially as delusional, but it is both. Like you, on one hand, have these expectations for yourself that you don't feel like you're meeting, and you can feel a little bit depressed or like let down but that's really more of a function of your expectations not being properly aligned to your current reality, because at the core, through your actions that you've displayed, you do fucking believe in yourself. Like otherwise you would be trying to validate your experience through needing the approval of other people around you. Right? Which is like, I don't know, that's a cool thing. Like I like being able to show that, and I think it's really important that through these conversations that we have, because we're very privileged, both of us, like being 27-year-old dudes, being like having the capacity to be able to provide for ourselves, having the support throughout our lives previously, having good educations, being, you know, intelligent enough, as fucking retarded as we both are, like to be able to actually fucking send it and like kind of be a part of the lead end of the generation, the tip of the spear for our generation, to be like, we're fucking pursuing our dreams. And I think like as two dudes who do that, and that's like a big part of this conversation and this series of podcasts that I want to do, I want to kind of like open it up and have this be a behind the scenes look at like, we don't have everything figured out. We do have a lot of insecurity, and also you can still believe in yourself at the same time. It's both. And just because somebody else out there, you know, feels like they don't just have nothing but fucking radical self-belief, they have a little bit of insecurity, or maybe a lot, and they think that invalidates them to have the capacity to pursue their dream. And it's actually fucking not that at all. And I think that like I get put in that box a lot with people like, you just have everything. I fucking hate when people tell me that. They're like, you just have everything figured out, dude. I'm like, no, I fucking do not. Like, again, like I'm more fucked up than most people, and that's why I take care of myself. And I think that like now that you're coming on this journey, or just not even this journey, you're stepping out onto your own quest of fucking being like, I'm gonna go out and see what the fuck I'm capable of. I think it's so cool for people to be able to see like these two dudes who are like fucking doing this thing and like shooting fucking documentaries and like sending it, fucking quitting their job and like pursuing their dreams. They also don't have everything figured out, and they're also struggling, as is required, to learn how to take better care of themselves in order to do things that they actually want to do. You know?
Yeah. Dude, maybe we should do this every Sunday.
I think we should. It actually would be a crazy way to put out reps.
We could do it. We could do it in like different places in the house. Yeah.
I think, and we're worried about not having enough to talk about, which is like so stupid.
So, for us, dumb. Bro? No,
we could go for fucking days, dude. It just like wouldn't stop. No, yeah, I think that like it should be this like these like, you know, conversations just about like what it is that we're trying to do. Like I think that documenting this process of being a young guy who's pursuing his dreams, I think is so important.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people out there who just like don't. I mean, it's crazy too, because like you can kind of realize now, looking back, now that you have done it, that like you didn't fucking die.
Not yet.
Eventually, we all die. But like, you know, you jumped off the thing and like you were okay. And like I think that that's so important for people to see, like that it's going to be okay, and that you probably should just give yourself a shot because, you know, you're not really going to lose anything either way. You're still going to be here. 10 out of 10 of the times you thought that you were going to die, you didn't die. Anybody that's alive today has a 100% success rate, so, like, why not fucking give it a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that like, what's that called, though? Like statistical bias?
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
the people who
did die
are not around here.
Yeah. At one time that they did die. Yeah. I said it to people and they're like, you drive a motorcycle, like, you're statistically more probable to fucking whatever. And I'm like, dude, like,
Yo, every time that I rode my motorcycle, I didn't die.
I have a 100% success rate so far, so, like, I'm actually fine. I think that does, like, speak to a thing that, like, I actually, in my delusional head, will, like, convince myself that those statistics don't actually apply to me because I'm not a part of the general population. What do you think about, like, that? Like, kind of, I mean, you care a lot about, like, going to the gym. You go to the gym more than most people. You push yourself. You try to eat clean. Like, how important is it for you to be different than to not be a statistic? I mean, 87% of people are metabolically dysfunctional, which is basically walking down the path to type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. Like, we're kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, what is that like for you to, like, kind of, like, look at our generation specifically? Like, let's talk to that. Like, where most of our generation is headed is being fucking castrated, asexual, driveless, low T fucking pieces of shit or warm bags of milk or some mix of the two.
Yeah, I think that...
That sounded really cynical and, like, take it with a grain of salt, people.
Well, I think, like, first of all, you know, it's... Sometimes it's, like, easy to feel like, oh, yeah, like, I'm the shit. I'm better than other people. Sometimes it's really easy to feel like I am a piece of shit and I am worse than everybody else.
Both are true.
Yeah. So just, like, I guess, like, in those times where you're feeling like the shit, like, not to, you know, try not to, like, put yourself, like, above anyone else, first of all. But, I just, like, I just want to do... No, this is not good. Cramp. Hamstring cramp.
Dude, I got one, like, a minute after you sat back down.
Oh, my
on my
God.
left one.
Yeah. I just... I don't... I'm not looking at it like, okay, I have to be, like, you know, not be statistic. I am purely just doing the stuff that makes me feel good, like mentally and physically. And I think that probably is a byproduct that's, you know, I don't know, maybe making me not metabolically unhealthy. I don't know.
We look at the thing, I think, in a very different way. I look
I'm
from a place of responsibility almost.
I mean, yeah, I'm
But
just...
I'm a fucking coach, though, so, like...
I'm just really glad that, like, I enjoy going and working out at the gym. Like, I enjoy doing difficult things. I'm just very grateful that, like, however I've gotten here, whether it's, like, genetics or, like, early stuff that happened in my childhood, that, like, I am someone who enjoys, like, these things that are good for me. But... you know, I wasn't born with, like, to be predisposed to, like, addiction or whatever, which some people are, so that's, like, rough for them. So I'm just very grateful that, like, I have been given whatever I've been given.
Yeah. Do you feel like any sort of, like, I don't know, like, I think that I've been on, like, this path a little bit longer than you too, though. Like,
yeah,
because
for
I'm
sure.
a coach, and, like, I was gonna die if I didn't figure it out. Like, at, like, 17 or 18. Like, I was either gonna off myself or, like, my body was gonna shut down. Like, I genuinely didn't believe that I was gonna make it to 21. I didn't think I was gonna make it to 27 or 25. Like, and I think that we do have very different, like, trajectories. Like, we ended up in a similar spot where we can relate a lot, but, like, for me, like, you were a pretty normative dude, and like, you would have been fine either way. Like, you fit in pretty good. I assume you did okay in high school. Your teachers probably fucking liked you.
Yeah.
You didn't get kicked out of class for calling anybody a cunt, did you?
No.
Okay, I got arrested when I was 17. And then a month later I went back. Like, and I was homeschooled befole that, and I had this like really weird dramatic life where I was like this super
You were homeschooled?
I was homeschooled until 7th grade.
Really? I was homeschooled until 3rd grade.
Holy shit, that's why we're autistic.
Yeah.
Fuck. Holy fuck. That's crazy. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like
I feel like I was homeschooled for like just the right amount of time for me to like be like weird enough.
Yeah, I got left in the
Weird.
oven a little too long. Yeah, for sure. I was overbaked, for sure. But like, yeah, I was this like kind of like relatively perfect kid, but I was maladapted to society, and then I went into society, and it just like ran me through the fucking ringer. And like, so I had to figure it out. And I think that like I look at now coming from like the place that I was before when I was homeschooled into the fucking darkness that I was in high school, to then like finding my way back through only the strength of my will after being told that I was basically fucked at 15 or 16 by psychiatrists and doctors, that like I was just gonna have the crazy bad acne for the rest of my life. It was never gonna go away. The scars were never gonna heal. I was just gonna be depressed. I was gonna have manic depression and probably some sort of bipolar whatever thing on the fucking spectrum. I don't even know what the difference between manic depression and bipolar really is. They're like basically the same thing. The DSM is fucked. The modern psychiatric model is fucked. Not gonna get into that. But I was basically told it's gonna be emotionally unstable, that I was going to be depressed, and that I was going to be anxious, and that I was going to have ADHD, and I needed antidepressants, I needed anti-anxiety, I needed ADHD medication, I needed anti-nausea because all those made me sick, and then I needed to like apply sulfuric acid to my fucking face every night, which is fucked to tell a kid. So like, I made it through only through my will to live. So I almost feel like a weird like sort of responsibility, and it can seem almost pretentious to be like, I'm not going to be a statistic, but it's not, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm like, none of us should be any of these fucking statistics. The fact that these are statistics, the fact that the general population is sick, overweight,
because I never like felt that it was like a threat to my like livelihood.
You were going to be fine.
Life. Yeah.
You have white parents and you're going to be okay. Plot twist, I have white parents too. One of them's not. But like, I mean, I would have been fine too. Like, I have a good family. They were like very young, and like things were not probably as certain as you having like older parents, but like, you know, I was going to be okay. But like, it outside of myself, but like internally I was not going to be okay. Like I was going to fucking, like I was in a really dark place. So for me, like, I almost have this like antagonistic perspective that I want to like challenge people and be like, you don't need to be that. Like, you got this, and like none of us need to fucking be that. And I'm like kind of, that's my role as like a pusher. That's why I'm a triggering person in general, to be like, fuck you, let's go. Like, why are you being a lazy piece of shit? Like, go. Like, let's fucking do that. I guess that's like why I became a coach. So it was initially like this thing of like taking care of myself and it feeling good, and I still do love that. But I almost feel like it's sort of responsibility. I guess that's why I'm forming Cope and formed the Collective, and like that's why we're doing these things, and I am kind of that guy. But like, I don't know, I almost feel like a little bit of a responsibility to be an inspiration for the people who maybe never saw anybody like do the things that we're doing.
Right.
Do you feel any of that? Like, to your homies, like, you inspire your homies.
I mean, my homies inspire me. I mean, like, Cam inspires me.
Shout out Cam.
Cam. Like, Cam doesn't need to be inspired by me.
We should get him on the pod. We would have a good 3-pod.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, man, like, especially like my friends back in Massachusetts, like, I would not have gotten on the path if like I hadn't seen them and been like, damn, I want to be jacked.
Yeah.
And like here, dude, I just don't have a lot of friends.
I don't really fuck with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I think that's an interesting. Do you feel like any sort of tension with that? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with like the tension that like not want to go out? I mean, like you probably settled into it at this point, but
Yeah.
the call is still there.
Dude,
It would be a fuckboy.
yeah, a little bit.
I mean, the
like,
spark, like it still flares up every once in a while. I mean, I fucking have
For
it, and
sure.
I'm like a 70-year-old.
Yeah, especially when my girlfriend gets me to like step foot in a bar, like it's over. I'm getting fucked up for sure.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! I'm not gonna be able to do legs after this. Fuck.
You cramp it up that bad?
Yeah. Like, but. Dude, I need a pee so fucking bad right now.
Let's take a
too.
piss break. Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, what were we talking about? Yeah, so, yeah, man, like, I would not say that my friends, like, look to me for inspiration, necessarily. If anything, I look to my friends for inspiration. Maybe they do. I don't know.
They fucking do. I see you processing that in your head right now. I mean, you just quit
No,
your
I
fucking
just-
job to go pursue your dream. Like, that means something, you know? It's not nothing. You've been talking about that for a long time, and you've been too much of a fucking pussy to do it, and then you decided to, like, fucking, like, I'm just gonna send it. Like, that means something.
I don't think any of my friends have like a pursuit that they would like.
It could be asking the girl out on a date. Like, I think that
Maybe
it's as simple
Yeah.
as that. It's as simple as looking somebody in the eye, like, you know.
maybe it'll be better if they see me succeed. Maybe.
I think there is no succeed. You never cross the fucking finish line. You're like, I'm successful. Like, I think it's just it's how you exude yourself. I know for a fact, even though you don't want to give yourself credit for it, that you do inspire your homies. I've talked to some of your homies in the gym before who, like, both know you.
Mm-hmm.
One dude, I can't remember his fucking name specifically, but we're talking about you, and he's like, yeah, like Cam, like, just I love Cam so much because he just like does not have a filter, and he like will tell me what's up, like no matter what, and he's like kind of relentless in his life.
I absolutely have a filter.
You do
More
sometimes.
active than other people. It's just
You're also willing to be an asshole though. Like, you're willing to tell somebody that you don't like something,
yeah.
and like that is a rare trait to have in today's world, and I think that like people like really need more of that.
Mhm.
So I think that you do play that role. I mean, you play that role for me.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, nah, that's not it. I was like, okay.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Well, a lot of that, to be honest, like I should be more vocal. Because yeah, I do say that sometimes, but like a lot of the time I'll just like leave.
you're like, yeah,
I'll just like dip out of the
exit
situation
conversation.
or the relationship completely,
Yeah.
or just not begin the relationship in the first place. Because I
Yeah.
know that there's just nothing there anyway.
Yeah. So to like kind of just like close this conversation out, like I kind of want to continue to document this process. So like a year ago we talked, and you were thinking about or realizing that you needed to like jump off the fucking thing. Now you're freshly off the ledge, and you're out here in the world.
Yeah.
What are you like? What's life looking like for you right now? What is it that you are setting forward to do as
Right.
you continue into the world?
Okay. So.
What's the plan?
Right. Okay, so the goal is what I want to do is I want to fucking work on documentaries, specifically like journalistic style documentaries, and I could go more into detail into like the exact style of documentary that I want to do. But I want to work on those, and I was so fucking confused about how to get to that point for a long time. And now, for the first time ever, like I feel clarity, and like I feel like I can do that with like the things that I have at my disposal. So the next year is going to be, I'm going to make 6 documentaries. That's the goal. I might fall short, but it's whatever. The goal is 6. 4 hopefully will be done by August. But yeah, that's the goal. Just go like hyperdrive creating short docs, get some sort of skill under my belt, and yeah, and beyond those, just really like film every day with you.
Yeah, we're putting in a lot of work right now.
Just-
We're trying to.
Yeah, just create every day. Just get the reps in and make up for lost time.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like do the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just get the reps in. Like that's the whole thing. It's just like be a pro. Oh, have you read The War of Art?
No.
Stephen Pressfield. You got to get that.
Mm.
It's just like about just like showing up to do the work every day, no matter what. Like a pro, like writers write, filmers film, editors edit.
Yeah.
It's just like just showing up every fucking day to like. He kind of frames it in this weird way in the book, but he's like the muse is like this like goddess that he like believes in or whatever. But it's this like idea that like we show up every day to kind of like make contact with that creative part of ourselves, and if we actually do that every day, then we reorganize the way that our brain works essentially to be that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the antithesis of selling ourselves short, essentially. It's just like not even giving ourselves a chance to sell ourselves short because we just do the damn thing. So let's fucking do the damn thing, and fucking cheers to you, dude, for just like being a homie. Like, I mean, I'm going through a whirlwind of chaos in my personal life, and like I mean, we didn't see each other for like a month. You were away for Christmas, and things were hectic, and things just got like crazy over here in my personal life. And I will say, like, you are an inspiration to me for sure. Like it's just like it's really cool. Whatever as pretentious as it fucking sounds, like we are fucking fundamentally different from most people in our generation, just because of the fact that we like really try to look at ourselves and find our inadequacies. And I think that that's something that we share and like really connect on, that we're like willing to look at ourselves and where we're not good enough and try to become better. And I just can't tell you like how much I appreciate being around another dude who's my age, who's like also getting after it. Just like your energy, like that sounds so fucking gay, but like you're just being around you.
My aura.
Yeah. Gay in not a homophobic way. No diddy. I love gay people. Gay in like a strange or silly way. Gay in like gay in an Asheville way. But like just being around another dude who's like actually getting after it, I just like appreciate it so much. Like also just like on a super basic fundamental human level, like having a friend around to like talk to about shit, it just makes me feel more normal.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to be able to have like a grounding cord of somebody else who's getting after it. So I appreciate the fuck out of you, dude. And I'm stoked to be creating and collaborating and build this fucking media company that I guess we're about to build out to film some documentaries for a food organization.
Yeah.
And continue to do stuff for Cope and Collected, and I'm looking forward to supporting everything that you're doing. I believe in you like to the fucking moon, and yeah, I'm just stoked, man.
Me too, dude. Absolutely.
I'm not crying, it's the smoke. Oh, sweet, it's a wrap. Alright.